Well, we are back. Year, 16 for the Bison video blog on a Monday of game week. North Dakota State opens the 2025 season Saturday in Charleston, South Carolina to take on the Citadel. I am Dom Izzo, joined, of course, by the forum's Jeff Kolpack. Happy year 16, buddy boy, of doing this, huh?
When are we going to have our bobblehead night? We got the bobbleheads on the intro.
We can talk to Soboluk up at the Dome. I'm sure they would go like hotcakes up there.
Yeah, 10 of them.
Well, here we go. I mean, we've been talking, it seems like you mentioned earlier on Hot Mic since January 7th about 2025. Game week has arrived, and really interested to see some of the questions we've had get answered, some of them on Saturday.
Oh, so many questions. I mean, just so many questions. And really going into a season, you look at last year. Last year, the big question mark was the defensive back and the young corners and safeties and things like that. That's not the question anymore. Now it's the quarterback. Now it's new linebackers. Now it's, are they going to get to use the receivers who I think are the best set of receivers in the FCS, certainly the biggest and best. And, the running back, Barika, is he going to get 20 carries a game?
Good question.
There's just so many questions that we go into. The offensive line.
Yep. That's a good one you make on running back. I want to start there because Polasek has noted a couple times that he wants maybe Barika Penu to be that workhorse. We haven't seen since John Crockett in 2014. But I look at a guy like DJ Scott, true freshman Miles Mitchell, they're going to get some run. They're going to get in the game.
I'm not buying
pump
that.
the brakes on that one? On Barika getting 20 carries.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't see that happening. And again, especially with the receivers they have, with Bryce Lance, you're going to get the ball in his hands. Raja Nelson, Mekhi Collins is really developed in. Chris Harris is really developed. So you have these weapons. I just don't see Barika getting the ball 20 times. I don't. And I want to see what Money Mitchell has. I want to see what DJ Scott has early in the season, and then a non-conference, throw them in the water, see if they swim.
Got to start with quarterback. That's where everybody wants to talk about. Cole Payton is now the guy, Jeff, one of the highest profile recruits that NDSU's ever had in the Division I era out of Omaha, Nebraska. He's been here 4 years. He's played every year he's been here, including the 4 games back in 2021. He has 58 career pass attempts. That's the big question mark coming into 2025.
Well, now it's questioned on January 7th when we got back from the national title game. You think about Cole Payton, and Randy Hedberg alluded to on your Hot Mic show earlier this week. He was recruited during COVID, Dom. Think about that.
Yep.
I mean, I have forgotten about COVID. I have forgotten all about it, purposely or non-purposely. But he was recruited during COVID, and he had a lot of Zoom meetings and things like that. And so, this guy's been around the block. Now it's time to get in the car and drive it.
Athletically wise, we have seen bursts, Jeff, when the run against Eastern Washington at US Bank Stadium. Heck, last year against Illinois State, Northern Iowa. The postseason, frankly, of 2023 at Montana State, South Dakota, and Montana. We know athletically he's a freak. It's the ability, can he run this offense like Polasek has said, on a 3rd and 7, like Cam did last year, and get a first down and stay on the field? That's what we don't know yet.
Yeah, can he throw over the middle on 3rd and 7? And that's an area of the game where Cam really developed as he came along in his career. When Cam Miller was 3rd and 6, and Brock Jensen was the same way in his later years. He was so good at 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Carson, of course,
Easton certainly
as he progressed during his career. It's hard for a freshman or sophomore quarterback, for whatever reason. On 3rd and 5, it's just more difficult because maybe you just don't see the field as well as you do when you're an older player. But now, can Cole Payton, can he see the field on 3rd and 6? Does he know where to go? And a lot of times, I don't doubt his arm strength. I don't doubt his accuracy. But, okay, does he know where to throw it? Can he find the open guy?
Yeah. I asked you this, and I didn't on Hot Mic. I'm trying to think the last time the Bison have had just a 1-year starter at quarter. Take Trey Lance's deal out of it because obviously we know what happened there. I got to go back maybe Nick Mertens, and Mertens was pulled late in 2009, his 2nd year starting, replaced by Jose Mo. That's the last time I can remember just a 1-year starter. That's what Payton has been around, but has not been the starter because since this run started, Jensen started for 3+ years. Wentz got 2. Stick obviously got almost 4. Cam Miller almost got 4, minus the Trey Lance year plus. I have to go back probably that far. Maybe you go back before, maybe Tony Stous before that?
Started as, 2003. And then in 4, Walker replaced him. So there was a year and a half.
So we're talking over 2 decades that this has happened for the Bison.
Can I go back to maybe Brian Owen in 1983?
Wow.
Because he was a senior quarterback. I think he was a senior then, and he started the season And then some
We
guy
know,
named
we
Jeff
know what happened
Benton
after that.
replaced him not long into the season, and three titles in 4 years
It's just
later.
an anomaly for the Bison at
Doesn't
this
happen
spot
very
to
often.
have this there. It's also an anomaly for NDSU to have 3 new starters on the offensive line. That's the other big question we've been talking about. You're going to meet Bo Johnson, who's going to be the left tackle. Josh Mangan is a really interesting story. Jeff, he's a converted defensive lineman who's taking over at the right tackle spot.
Yeah, obviously his body type and converted to more of an offensive lineman look, and obviously he's athletic enough to, as a defensive player, he's probably was quick enough. You got to move on the offensive line. You got to move. But Bo Johnson now, I guess he's technically not the blind side.
No, he's not. Not in the left-handed quarterback. No, I joke with him about that, but that's stepping into a spot. We talk about QBU. It's basically left tackle you for what NDSU has done since 2013.
Is a fine tradition to step into, and now
He knows it too.
Yeah, he knows it. He's big enough, right? He's 300.
I think he just got over 300 pounds. They're very excited. The coaching staff was they got over that.
I don't think you need to be 310 or 15 like you used
think
to.
so anymore.
I think, talking to coaches in the FCS game and the way it's evolved a little bit, that there's more of a premium. Yeah, you got to be 300. It's nice. But you got to move. You got to get upfield, and you got to be able to get that first step in.
Nate Tosted, it looks like he's going to be starting next to Bo Johnson at left guard. Young man from Roulette, North Dakota, 2 years removed from being the North Dakota 9-man senior athlete of the year. Looks like he's won that job, which is an impressive fight. He was a highly recruited guy. Polasek tried to get him when he was the offensive coordinator at Wyoming to go join him with Craig Bowl out in Laramie. He stuck here. This was a huge get for Matt Entz when he got him in 2023, and now he's going to make his first career start.
Just looking at this video, Dom, and one thing that strikes out about me is just the physical makeup of these guys. Remember, South Dakota State old coach John Stiglmeyer used to call his guys the fat guys. Well, they're not fat. I mean, these guys are the lean muscle mass is pretty impressive, and a lot of them are 300. But the thing is, they don't look 300. They look like they're 280. And that's just the way the strength and conditioning staff develops these guys. And let's not forget nutrition.
Correct.
Nutrition is a big deal in college football.
I'll just say this for people that watch our broadcast on Bison Game Day on Saturday, the actual football game. The 5 that are out there, Jeff, to start, I don't think that's definitive. Those are going to be the 5 when we get to October.
No, certainly not. And you could probably take that with a few positions, I think, heading in to the season with the non-conference. I mean, they're not playing Colorado off the bat. They're playing the Citadel, a winnable game. Got to play well, but winnable game. Then you got Tennessee State, a winnable game, certainly. And I don't even know if you have to play well to beat Tennessee State.
They want to, obviously,
Yeah,
but Tennessee State is not what we saw last year.
SEMO, the home opener, I'm not really sure what SEMO has. I haven't had time to look into them.
They have lost a lot there, too.
It's not an FBS game. And it's not Montana State coming here. So you'll have a chance, I think, to find out what you have on your roster.
I want 2 more position groups before we move on to the Citadel. Linebacker is a spot where 2 guys are going to make their first start. Nathaniel Staling is going to be the guy in the middle, and Donovan Woolen on the outside. 2, I think, athletic guys that are – I think they're going to be making splash plays all over the place. Not just Saturday, but this season.
We'll see, but obviously the Bison players think enough of this guy, Staling, to elect him a captain as a junior. Guys have been around. He's got those leadership qualities. And the biggest linebacker to start at that spot since Nick DeLuca in 2017. Was he 238? Talking about Staling? That's a pretty good size, and I think he can move too. He's a running back, mostly. He's an offensive player coming out of high school. So here you got a guy who had some speed in the backfield at Alexandria, and he obviously showed that pretty well. And so now,
speaking of speed, that guy's got it too. I mean, we saw him had a pick in the Green and Gold Showcase on Cole Payton. That Donovan Woolen's going to be out there. You're going to see number 1 making plays out there. Last position group before we move to the Citadel. Don't roll your eyes at me too much on this. We have not talked enough, I think, on tight end. That's a spot that has become critical, not only in the running game for the Bison offense, but through the years. You've seen Ben Ellison out there, Nate Jensen out there, Jeff Ilias. You name the great Bison tight ends, Noah Gindorf, Josh Babbage. Do they have that on this team? I don't know. They only have 8 career catches at the tight end spot coming back this year.
Unproven. I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm saying unproven, obviously, untested. I guess, again, this is another position with the next month. We'll find out. And don't forget about, I don't want to usurp your show here.
Go for it.
You haven't talked about special teams and kicking.
We have not. There's a new kicker and a new punter.
And
that's a big deal, too.
Yeah.
I think your guy, Reese Kessel from Fargo South.
I do.
I think that might be a guy, when we see the the non-conference games or preseason games, as Polasek calls them, watch for number 81 out there. He's quick. But you're right. Aaron Bickerton is the new punter. Eli Ozick, who's not necessarily new, but he has the full-time kicking duties. We saw that at East Tennessee State last year with a 54-yarder. All right, now to the Citadel. Maurice Drayton in his third year. This guy bleeds this school, Jeff. He played for them. This is his third separate stint coaching there. He's moved up the ladder. He's a former NFL special teams. He made his bones. We're talking about special teams. The Citadel has All-America punter, All-America long snapper. You can roll your eyes all at me, but watch for the Citadel on special teams on Saturday. Now, their quarterback situation is completely up in the air. We believe Quentin Hayes, the transfer from Air Force, is likely going to be the guy on Saturday.
Seems like it. He transferred, and now that's a new thing too, by the way. Citadel taking transfers to
Citadel.
The military school. But he was in the system at Air Force, which is an option system that the Citadel has run forever. And so he comes here and looking to make more of an impact. He started some games for Air Force. And
6 games,
and that's no slouch of a program either. That's a pretty good throw here. They need to improve on their passing game. Last year's starting quarterback, Jonathan, name escapes me.
Bennett, you got it.
Bennett. 50% throwing last year. That's not going to make it. And that's not going to cut it. And especially against the FCS and a top 25 team. So if the Bison just if they can't throw and they're just manning up on the outside, which they probably will anyway because of the option game. But if you're only throwing at a 50% clip, that's going to be a hole to dig out of.
It's not the weather was the other main topic we were talking about. It doesn't look like it's going to be a factor, Jeff. Not nearly as hot or humid as initially anticipated.
I had my salt diet all planned this week, and I don't think I'll need it, but a little hydration for the media.
Got to do that, absolutely. We thought maybe in the 90s with an 11 a.m. kickoff, and we heard there was going to be that early. Like, oh, this could be gross. At least as of we stayed here on Monday, forecast is not nearly as bad as we thought potentially.
My story on Inform this week on the salt diet that the Bison used in the K-State game and what they really hung their hat on as far as conditioning part of it, dietary part of it. And that still hasn't changed. I mean, they're still going to take a lot of salt. Dots Pretzels is going to be part of the mix this week. I saw them with fruit and throwing the salt shakers on the fruit this week. And, talent's going to win the game, but not cramping is going to help too.
Really interested about this. You mentioned it's not Colorado. The Bison are going to a new spot. Never played in South Carolina. Frankly, they never get to the East Coast. We were out there for both Delaware and Towson, and I was frankly surprised at both the amount of turnout at each of those games. And now with a quote-unquote destination city like Charleston, maybe there are more than even I think that might come to this game.
What are you thinking? 1,000?
Maybe more. I don't know.
More?
Maybe they do the double. That are going to do both. They're going to say, "Hey, it's the holiday weekend. I'm going to stay, and then I'm going to go to Nashville."
There's certainly
next
people
week.
doing that. Oh yeah, there's certainly people doing that. But again, without the FBS game, the destination thing, and Charleston obviously is apparently what I've been told a very cool destination to be, a great city. And there's a lot of graduates on the East Coast too, by the way.
We found that out when we went to Delaware.
There was a lot
and
of
went
graduates.
to Towson. There was more than I was at East
DC
Tennessee State when we were out there last year. I know that's not East Coast, but there was more than we anticipated. All right, don't forget Bison Game Day. We're leading you right into kickoff on Saturday, 10 a.m. live on the field. We'll be there, get you ready for the Bison and the Bulldogs, and then we hit the air right at 11 o'clock to open up the 2025 season. North Dakota State in the Citadel. Join Jeff, myself, Sam, and Kyle, our crew, back again for what should be a dynamite year. You got your picks ready for the pick'em to try to take the nickel back?
Did you win it last year?
I won that last year, yes.
Amazingly, I forgot.
Forgot that.
I just totally forgot.
Memory. But we'll have our picks and all that coming up. We look forward to another great year here on the video blog each and every Monday, getting you ready for Bison football. For Jeff Kolpack, I'm Dom Izzo. That's this week's Bison video blog, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.